I'm Danny Gould, the hotel guy, and last week I had an opportunity to stay at the W Barcelona. I'm going to be giving you my unfiltered review, the good, the bad, the ugly. But before we get into the review, if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, go ahead and click that little subscribe button down below, the notification bell, and a thumbs up button. It costs you nothing, and you'll get notified every single time I post a new review here. I travel all over the world for business, for pleasure, and you can always count on me to keep it real. All right, let's get into it. First off, when it comes to room details, pricing, all of that stuff can be found in the description box down below. So if you want the pricing information, any savings and whatnot, and room details that I got, all of that is going to be found in the description box down below. And one of the really cool things about this hotel that I didn't really realize when I was booking is that every single room in the hotel, to my knowledge, has a view of the ocean. And so when I booked it, I thought that I was getting the ocean view side of the hotel. I thought there was an ocean view side and a non-ocean view side. It actually ended up being that both sides had an ocean view, and both sides had a really beautiful ocean view. There's a Marina side, which is the side that I booked, which is actually probably the less expensive side, which I didn't even realize. Like when I booked the travel, I booked it because I saw Marina view and I was like, oh my God, that sounds like what I want. The other side is, I don't even know what the other side is called necessarily, but that's the side that has a view of La Barceloneta, which is the beach there in Barcelona. That's the side that you want to book if you want the beach view. But we had a view of the ocean. It was a beautiful view, as well as like the port and the ships that were coming in and out. So it was really cool. We got to see the cruise ships. We didn't get to see the beachfront. I was a little bummed about that. I almost went down and asked them to change rooms, but they were actually fully sold out at the hotel when we were staying there. So a little bit of a bummer, a little bit of a letdown, but the view was absolutely incredible nevertheless. Now, the W is definitely a very upscale feeling. Like when you walk in, it's got this really like upscale, hip, contemporary vibe. It is worth noting that this is not like a retreaty type of hotel. This is a party hotel to its core. It literally feels like Vegas in Barcelona. There are a lot of young people, especially when I was there. There were a ton of young people, presumably on break, and it really had like a Vegas party vibe the entire time that we were there. It was definitely contemporary. It was definitely hip. It was definitely a nice hotel, but it lost some of the classiness because, you know, you saw basically kids like running around. It was like a party, right? And I say kids, like 18, 25-year-old range, a lot of those there, which is cool, but it definitely like is not like a super classy hotel. It's hip, it's fun, not classy. All right, so there's a couple restaurants on site there at the W. The main one is called Fire, and unfortunately, when I tried to go down, they were in very traditional Spanish fashion closed. It was like 3:30, 4 p.m. in the afternoon, so they were closed. There are a couple of other restaurants that if you didn't know they weren't affiliated with the hotel, you would just assume that they are, because they're literally like they're on the hotel property. And that is Pez Vela and another restaurant called Tejada Mar. They're right on the beach. I had an opportunity to eat at Pez Vela. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was good food. We also had an opportunity over the course of our 4 days there to eat at the beach side. There's a beachside type of table service. So you lounge on the beach in their private section there at the W, and they bring food to you. The food there was actually not that great. The drinks were okay. The service was great on the beach. Like the guys there that were serving us were super awesome, but the food just, I mean, it was very like mediocre. I think we had like a sandwich and French fries, and like the sandwich was okay and the French fries were okay. Like it was nothing special. Almost every day I went down to the lounge either for coffee or for drinks or something. And every single day I went down to the lounge. The drinks and the coffee were like okay, they weren't like amazing, but the service was incredibly slow. And that was actually one of my biggest pet peeves about this hotel the entire time that we were there, is presumably because they were at full capacity, they probably just didn't have the staff necessary to really attend to everyone in a timely fashion. And so that was one of my biggest pet peeves, and it was especially prevalent anytime that we went to the lounge. Overall, I would rate the dining on site as a 7 out of 10. That's my dining score for the W. I actually feel like that's kind of generous. You know, I could see people thinking that it was more of like a 6 or a 5. So you definitely go there for the beach, the pool. You're not going there for the food. With the caveat being that I didn't get a chance to eat at the fire restaurant there on site, but I have a feeling I already know what that food is like, and it probably isn't any better than the food that we got beachside or the food that we got at Pezzvella. Now let's talk about the amenities. The amenities at the W were actually very, very good. It was actually one of the best things about the entire hotel. The gym is a solid 10 out of 10. In terms of hotel gyms, it's one of the better gyms that I've seen at a hotel. And, you know, they had free weights, they had kettlebells, they had all of this really awesome stuff. So if you are looking for a solid hotel gym experience, the W definitely has it for you. And you would not have to go anywhere else. You wouldn't have to find anywhere else to do your exercise. You could do it right there on site. It is 10 out of 10. The pool, similarly, to me, was a 9 or a 10 out of 10. It felt like Vegas. It was an awesome pool experience. The ambiance, the day beds, everything, it was so relaxing. It was so chill. The DJ was lit, and they had a DJ there basically the entire time. So it was highly, highly recommend the pool there at the W as well. The spa, I did not get a chance to actually enjoy the spa this time at the W, but I did get an opportunity to see the facility, and it looked really nice. So if the spa is your thing, which to be honest, it's really not my thing, which is one of the reasons that I didn't go exploring there. But if it is your thing, I have a feeling that you would really enjoy it, because all of that is included with your stay. So you don't have to pay extra to use the spa, the steam room, or the sauna, or anything there at the W. It's all included. Another unique amenity here at the W was actually the fact that we have a private beach, or private access, I should say, to La Barceloneta, which is the beach there in Barcelona. So you had day beds and, you know, poolside, or I should say beachside service to the day beds. And it was a really great ambiance and amazing setting, really good service, high quality service. So the private section there at the beach was awesome. Another unique amenity here at the W was actually the Eclipse nightclub, which is open almost every single night, I believe. It was open every single night that we were there until at least 2 a.m, and some nights it was open until 3 a.m. This is one of Barcelona's actually most exclusive and most sought after nightclub experiences, and it's literally right there at the hotel. So you wonder why does it feel like Vegas? It's because it literally has everything that Vegas has to offer. Pool, nightclubs, everything. So it really is more of like a young adult type of experience, just because of all of the young adulty things that you get to do. But the DJ was awesome, and we partied until 3 a.m. So it was really lit. And also we got to see the beautiful skyline of Barcelona from the top there. It's on the 30th floor of the hotel, with basically panoramic views of the entire city. So really incredible experience. And I would highly, highly recommend that if you are looking for a nightclub experience in Barcelona, even if you don't get to stay at the W, I would actually highly recommend that you go check out that nightclub one night. It really was a lot of fun. All in all, the amenities at this hotel really make it so that you do not have to leave whatsoever to have an amazing experience. I really thought that was probably the best part of the entire hotel, were all of the great amenities and all of the really unique things about the hotel, because not every hotel has like a nightclub and beach access and a pool and all that stuff. So it was really awesome to enjoy all of those. Obviously, you go to Barcelona, you're not just going presumably to do all of that. You're also going to enjoy the city and get some sightseeing in and do the tourist thing, but you really could enjoy and never have to leave the hotel. You really could go there and never have to leave. And so that is one of the cooler things about the W. It really truly is a complete hotel experience. So all in all, my amenity score for the W Barcelona is a 9 out of 10. I really thought about giving it a 9.5 or a 10, but after really considering everything, although the amenity experience was very complete, it made it a complete hotel experience. There were a few things that I felt like it was great, it was amazing, but it wasn't exceptional. And so that's why I rated it a 9 out of 10. Amazing score. Now let's talk about the location. The location is actually one of the best things about this hotel. First of all, when you go to Barcelona, this hotel really stands out. I mean, you can literally see it. You're standing at the top of La Sagrada Familia and you can literally see the W. Standing on top of the Sagrada Familia, you can still see the hotel. It's unbelievable. So it really is one of the most prominent buildings in the entire city. And it also is an amazing location, especially if you are trying to spend a lot of your time on the beach. The first time that I visited Barcelona back in 2018, when I went to the beach and I saw the W, I am staying there the next time I go because it looked amazing. I got to go inside in 2018. I saw it then and I was like, wow, this hotel rocks. And so going there and being able to kind of live that out was, number one, it was an incredible experience. I'm glad that I got to do it. But also, it really, this time being there, obviously, the grass is always greener. When we stayed there, one of my biggest qualms with the location is that the way that Barcelona is sectioned off, the beach is a decent drive from the center of town, from La Rambla and all of that stuff. And so to get from the hotel to El Gothic or La Rambla or any part of Barcelona, you're really looking at about a 7 to 10 euro trip each way. And so basically to go from the W all the way back into town and then back to the W, it's gonna be about like 15 to 20 euro round trip. And it's like 30 minutes round trip, 30, 40 minutes round trip. So it really does eat into your day. It eats into your pocketbook, obviously, to go back and forth. And there's no way you're gonna walk that. It's way too far to walk. And there's no public transportation really or at least no metro from the W into town. So it is a little bit inconvenient. And that's why I'm giving the location score an 8.5 out of 10. It would be a 10 out of 10 if you could easily access El Gothic and La Rambla, because really, I mean, it's the only hotel on the beach. It really stands out, and it's an amazing location for beachgoers, but not an amazing location if you're gonna be doing a lot of sightseeing in Barcelona. All right, so let's talk about the room. The room is actually one of the more interesting things about the hotel. When you walk in, one of the first things that you notice is, number one, the space is massive in the room. They did a really good job of designing the room, at least the one that we were in, to make it feel really, really big. And so it made it feel more luxurious because of the space and how everything was set up in the room. The view is magnificent, and they set the bed up to be able to watch the view as you open the curtains for the day. And so I would rate the spacing and the layout of the room a 9.5 out of 10. It was very well done. Whoever the interior designer was for that property did a really, really good job. The bed was super comfy, had a really good night's sleep every single night that I was there. The shower was luxurious. It was a nice overhead rain type shower, so that was really awesome. And there's no other way to say it. The room was it was sexy. I mean, it was a really, really beautiful room, and the view just made it that much better. I mean, the view is a 10 out of 10. You can't get a better view than that, in my opinion. I mean, it was just magnificent. So you might be able to get something that's just as nice, but I don't think you can find anything to truly top that view. It was really magnificent. The one thing worth mentioning is that when we were there, it was pretty hot and the air conditioning sucked in the room. And that was one of my biggest qualms with it is the room never really felt like air conditioned, even though the air conditioning was on and we had it on full blast the entire time. it was not working very well. And that was definitely one of my biggest qualms with the room. Another issue that I had was the fact that the internet was not included with the stay. Well, that's not true. They had a really, really slow, shitty internet that was included with the stay. And to upgrade was $25 a day, which, I mean, to be honest with you, after paying $400 to $500 a night for a room every single night, the last thing I want to do is spend an extra $25 for upgraded internet. I was really pissed off, actually. So I didn't upgrade my internet and I just kind of grinned and bared it. The good news is that we watched Netflix a couple of nights on the standard internet in the room. So the standard internet is still good enough for like Netflix streaming, but weirdly enough, not good enough for music streaming on my Apple Music. So for some reason it worked well on my laptop, and it, like the basic internet was good on the laptop and good enough to stream Netflix, which maybe someone who knows and understands technology could comment down below and tell me why that is. But for whatever reason, the Apple Music, I couldn't stream any music when I was there, so I had to get on my LTE, and it just kind of sucked. The W is a Marriott property, and one of the cool things about Marriott that I've noticed over the last couple of years that I've been staying at Marriott properties is the internet TV function on the television. So you can actually access like YouTube and Netflix and all that stuff on the TV. Well, the W didn't have that, and so I was really upset because I was looking forward to kind of logging into my Netflix account, logging into YouTube, so that you could have something that, you know, snooze to at the end of the day. Didn't have that capability or didn't have that functionality. So I was kind of bummed because honestly, I have not been to a Marriott property in the last couple of years that didn't have that function. It was the first one that didn't. So could be an international thing, but I don't think so because we stayed at the Lake County Marriott in London a week before, and they did have the internet TV function. So I think it was just a W thing. And W, if you're watching this, get your shit together. Do the internet TV. It's awesome. Some other things worth mentioning with the room. Number one, the laundry service was super reliable. So we had a couple of articles of clothing that needed to be washed. It was towards the end of our trip. So I was like, oh shoot, like I need a few things washed. That was effortless. It was really smooth. So I was really happy with that. And the water was plentiful. So most hotels try and gouge you and make you spend a lot of money on water. They didn't do that here at W, which is one of the things that I really appreciated about my stay there, was the fact that every single day there was water waiting for us, and like we'd leave the room, we'd come back, there'd be more water there, and it was like the water ferry showed up and like delivered water to the room like every time that we were gone, which is cool. So I was really happy with that particular aspect of the stay. Thought the service there was very good, with the exception of one day where like they forgot to clean our room, which I think is a testament to the fact that, or was attributed to the fact that they were booked out. So minus that one incident, or minus that one day where they didn't come service the room after repeated multiple attempts of like trying to get them to do it. Aside from that, the service was good, and the water ferries came like literally like 2-3 times a day they'd come, and it was pretty awesome. So overall, I would rate the room an 8 out of 10. It was above average for sure. It wasn't amazing. It was sexy, the view was great, but there were some things that really got in the way of it being an exceptional experience, such as the air conditioning being an issue, not having access to high-speed internet in the room. So there is definitely room for improvement in the experience there in the room, but overall, 8 out of 10 on the room. And now we come to the staff review, and to be honest, I am very torn here because truthfully, the service at the W was very, very hit or miss. So let's start with the negatives and then we'll move on to the positives. The negatives, I already mentioned one of them. There was one day where the room didn't get serviced at all after repeated multiple attempts of like trying to get someone to come service the room. The next day, we had a very similar experience where we actually had to ask 4 different times to get the room serviced before someone came to service the room. I think we started asking for service at like noon, and someone finally came to service the room at like 7 p.m. So that was a really, really unfortunate experience, and I attribute that to one of the clerks or someone, whoever's answering the phone. There were 2 people that were answering the phone consistently during our stay. There was a lady and there was a guy. The lady was awesome. Every time that we called down, she was like on top of it. She got us what we needed, all that stuff. The guy was awful. He was very dismissive. He was rude every time that we called down. And it was just kind of like dude, like, why are you working here? You know, because it didn't sound like he even wanted to be there. And it was a really unfortunate kind of thing that happened, but the good news is that we did end up getting our room service that second day, but it was unfortunate that we had very spotty service while we were there. But that being said, there were actually a lot of positive service experiences as well at the W. And so I don't want to just focus on the negative, because actually one of the best parts of the entire experience was the concierge. There were a couple really awesome concierge folks there when we were there. They were really readily accessible, and we got a lot of great information from them, especially from Victor. I'm shouting him out right now. Victor, you did an amazing job. He actually took it upon himself. I asked him, I was like, hey, do you know if we could reschedule our visit? And he was like, oh, I'll take care of that for you. And so he took care of rescheduling that whole thing, made it super easy for us. And honestly, I've never had that awesome of a concierge experience ever at a hotel. And so he did an amazing job. So I really just wanted to shout him out and thank him. If you're watching this video, Victor, I don't know why you would be, but if you are, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate your help there. And it saved us probably €100, because we would have had to go back and another day and not get that refund. So he helped process that whole thing and did it all for us, which was super cool. Even though we had some really negative experiences with the staff, overall, almost everyone was smiling, they were friendly, they were personable. If you speak, almost everyone on staff spoke English. In fact, everyone, I think, spoke English. And so even though for me, I speak fluent Spanish, and so it was really easy for me to communicate, they all spoke English. And in fact, they almost got weirded out when I spoke to them in Spanish. They would prefer to speak to me in English. And so it was just for English speakers especially, I found I would highly recommend it, because you're not going to have any sort of language barrier or any issues at all communicating with the staff on site. My overall score for the staff there at the W is an 8 out of 10. Again, there were some really high highs, some 10 out of 10 experiences, especially with the concierge. I would say 10 out of 10. But then there were some other really negative experiences that brought down that score. So that brings us to our final score for the W in Barcelona. It was a good stay. It wasn't exceptional by any stretch of the imagination. And an official Hotel Guy overall rating of 5.77 out of 7. So some final thoughts here. Number one, this is an amazing place to bring a significant other. It's super sexy. It has everything that you would need to have an awesome time. Great drinks, a lot of fun, pool, club, beach, and the hotel itself and the room itself is super sexy. So if you're looking for an awesome place to bring a significant other, that is definitely the place to go. I would say that if you have children, don't go to this hotel. This isn't really a kid's hotel or a child-friendly hotel. There's a lot of reasons to not bring them. The nightclub, and there's literally from 8 or 9 p.m. on, the people that are walking in there, there's girls that are dressed very not PG-13, so if you have children, probably not the best place to bring them. I think you'd be happier somewhere else. Next thought is I would just go there assuming that you're not going to get amazing service. This is a good service hotel. It's not a great service. There are some employees with attitude issues. Overall, a good staff experience. And honestly, if Victor gave the training to all the employees, that score would go up dramatically, I am sure, because Victor is the man. Overall, as someone who 4 years ago when I saw that hotel and I walked in there for the first time said, I have to stay here, I would say that a lot of my expectations were exceeded, but I was underwhelmed in some of the categories as well. And so it was a good stay. It wasn't an amazing stay. There were definitely some amazing parts about the hotel, but I definitely think that it underwhelmed in enough categories for me to be oh, it was a really positive experience, but it wasn't the best hotel experience that I've had. If you are not yet subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button for more hotel reviews just like this one. Click that little notification bell and give me a thumbs up. It costs you nothing. And if you've made it this far in the video and you still haven't done it, what are you waiting for? This is Gould, everyone, the hotel review guy. Catch all of you in the next video.